Alright folks, we're back. I am back in Pacific Bay, and this time I am going to do another case in Elite mode, and it will be this one. Death at the Circus. Hey Matthew, is it true you've already solved a murder and a robbery? And we've only just arrived in Paradise City. And guess what? I just heard that the circus is in town. Matthew, can we go and have a quick look? The circus is such a fascinating world. The animals, the clowns, the magicians. Pretty please? Great, surely nothing bad can come from a quick stroll by the circus and some cotton candy. Let's go. This case isn't going to be open for several more days, so I might as well just do some cases in Elite mode to pass the time. I do have over 36,000 energy, and I will try my best. Unfortunately, I can no longer get burgers or food rewards anymore. But what can you do? I think it's extremely unfortunate. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. And apparently, criminal case staff is not willing to listen. Oh gosh, I can't even find... Oh, there we are. Beach ball. I'll do what I can. Oh no, Matthew, that girl. She was hung by the neck with that red rope. She's dead. I agree, the way she's suspended above the stage, it's like someone put her on display on purpose. Matthew, there's no doubt this wasn't an accident. It's another murder. But I see you're already onto something, Matthew. The acrobat on that poster you found looks like the victim. The costumes are identical. And there's a name on the poster too. Annie Capri. You've identified our victim, Matthew. But you're right, someone wrote die on the poster. It's a threat from the killer. And the poster has some white substance smeared on it. Could you collect a sample? Wait, you picked up a megaphone? I see. There's some faded writing on it. Go on, work your magic so we can read it. Need to get some stars? Let's sit tight. Okay, I got myself 6 stars. I'll take the poster first. $17 energy, that's good. Nicely done, Matthew. You collected a white substance from the poster you found at the circus. Let's get it to Jan. Okay, that's 6 hours. And the megaphone now. Ziegfeld. Matthew, the megaphone you found at the crime scene has the owner's name written on it. Ziegfeld. You're right. If this Ziegfeld works in a circus and has a megaphone, chances are he's the ringmaster. So it won't be hard to track down Mr. Ziegfeld and ask him about the victim. Let's go. What he knows about the victim? Ladies and gentlemen, children of all ages, welcome to Paradise Circus. Orsino Ziegfeld is at your service. How may I entertain you, Ranger Matthew? We're here on serious business, Mr. Ziegfeld. Ranger Matthew's investigating the murder of Annie Capri. She performed in your circus as an acrobat, right? What? Annie's dead? But she was my most breathtaking attraction. Annie was the most amazing acrobat who ever walked the earth. I mean, the air. She was going to turn my circus into the most spectacular show in town. What am I going to do without her, Ranger Matthew? The circus is a tough world and talented artists are hard to find. Well, you can help Ranger Matthew find her killer. When did you last see Annie, Mr. Ziegfeld? After last night's show, all the circus artists went to a rooftop party. Of course, none of them thought to invite me. If I find out any of them harmed Annie, I'll unleash the tigers on them, Ranger Matthew. Mr. Ziegfeld sounds genuinely upset that Annie's dead. Apparently she was a talented acrobat. Nice catch, Matthew. He also mentioned a rooftop party which Annie must have gone to. Let's go and check it out. Wooden chests. There we are. There we are. There's the cat. Okay. So we know the victim was at a party here last night. Any new leads on her murder, Matthew? A box full of costumes. Looks like a good place to hide something. Can you search through it, Matthew? And you're so good at restoring torn pieces like these. You'd put a magician to shame. Gotta get some more stars, so sit tight. Okay. Got myself up to 8 stars. Nice, 19 energy. Great. Balloon animal. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, the world-famous Ranger Matthew presents a balloon animal found in the box on the rooftop. Sorry, Matthew, I know this is a serious clue. There's even some faded writing on the balloon. Can you make it readable again? That was good, Amy. I'll give you that. Coco says, play nice, Annie. Matthew, you've uncovered the writing on the balloon animal. It reads, Coco says, play nice, Annie. That message was intended for our victim. But that name, Coco, that doesn't sound like a real name at all. Someone named Coco who writes on balloon animals. Oh, you genius, Matthew. Coco must be a clown in the circus, of course. Well, hopefully Mr. Coco can still give you some serious answers, even if he's a clown. Let's go talk to him. Not very big on clowns, but let's talk to Coco. What do you want? The circus isn't open yet. Well, I'm sorry to bother you, Mr. Coco, but we have some bad news. Bad news? I hope it's not a busload of school children. I'm not in the mood to work overtime. I'm afraid it's worse, Coco. Annie Capri has been murdered. Annie's dead? Great! That's one less person pointing and laughing at me today. Anything else? You're happy that your colleague died? That's very insensitive, even for a grumpy clown like you, not to mention suspicious. Did you have a workplace conflict with Annie? Is that what you meant by your message on the balloon animal, telling her to play nice? Ah, Ranger Matthew, you don't know anything about circus life. Being laughed at isn't so easy, especially when it's your fellow artists who make fun of you. Now, if you'll excuse me, I have to practice falling over my own shoes for tonight's performance. Come back tonight if you like, or don't. What do I care? Good work, Matthew. You've restored the torn paper you found on the rooftop. And hey, it's a photo of our victim. You're right. Someone wrote a message on the poster. Annie, you are the freak. And it's signed by the Hanoi sisters. Who do you think these Hanoi sisters might be, Matthew? Hello, Ranger Matthew. We heard our name. What can we do for you? Eek! Oh my. Are you alright, miss? Yes, sorry. I've just never seen conjoined twins before. Don't worry, we're used to people staring at us. We're one of the attractions of the circus. We are literally joined at the hip, so we have to go everywhere together. But we also have two heads, so we don't always agree on everything. Hey, it's you who... Oh, don't you dare start that again. Ladies, please, Ranger Matthew's right. We need to talk to you about this picture you sent to Annie. We're investigating her murder. Got 3 cards from one of my teammates about their relationship with the victim. Alright, ladies, what can you tell us about this picture? Why did you call Annie a freak? We were just teasing her. Annie was full of herself, like most beautiful girls. She thought having only one head made her better than us. So you were jealous of her? I wasn't, but my sister was. What? You said you hated her. Ladies, if Ranger Matthew finds out you killed Annie, both of you will go to jail, so there's no use fighting. Matthew, I never met conjoined twins before. Imagine being stuck with someone for your whole life. I mean, Frank is hard enough to tolerate for 15 minutes. You're right, there are many strange things in life, and more in a circus, but I can't imagine what else this investigation will turn up. Neither can I, Amy. So, I'll let these two run their courses, so for now, this is Matthew. See you then. Alright folks, we're back. Let's get the results of the autopsy. Hello Matthew, I hear things are a bit up in the air with your latest investigation, especially the victim. Roxy, do you have a bad pun for every imaginable way a person can die? Actually, for this murder, I have 2. You could also say the poor victim's life was hanging by a thread. Not only was she suspended in midair by those silk ropes, but the silk rope also served as the murder weapon to strangle her. So a circus artist killed with her own props. But what about the killer? Did you find anything that can narrow down the search? I did find a strange chemical in the strangulation wounds, which must have been transferred from the rope the killer used. It turned out to be fruit syrup diluted in water. The molecular structure of the solution indicated that the water was frozen, which led me to believe that the mixture was shaved ice. Shaved ice? You mean those colorful icy desserts sold near amusement parks and circuses? That makes sense. So we're dealing with a killer who eats shaved ice. Well, their sweet tooth will be their downfall, Matthew. And of course you would also find shaved ice in Hawaii, state that I live in. And the white powder. Hello, Matthew. I hear you ran away with the circus, only to bring back more lab work for me. Anyway, the white powdery substance you collected from the poster was a highly purified form of calcium carbonate, commonly known as limestone. To be exact, the soft powdery variety of limestone the killer left on the poster is chalk. So the killer uses chalk. Maybe they like to play hopscotch when they aren't killing people, but only until Matthew catches them. Matthew, this case is more surprises than a magician's box. We found an acrobat hung from the circus ceiling murdered, but who could have done it? Coco the clown wasn't on good terms with Annie, but grumpiness could just be his personality, or do you think clowns get burnt out too? And the Hanoi sisters were clearly jealous of Annie. She was pretty successful, and perhaps cruel to the sisters because of their rare condition. Matthew, I just found out your victim called the police before she died. She said her life was in danger. Ooh. Okay, we'll get to chapter 2 next time. So for now, this is Matthew. See you then. Alright folks, we're back. Let's start chapter 2 of Death at the Circus in Elite Mode. Matthew, I just found out your victim called the police before she died. She said her life was in danger. According to the call log, the line got cut off before Annie could say anything else. But the interesting thing is that she wasn't calling from the circus. So Annie knew someone was after her and fled the circus? Hannah, we need to know where she went. I know. That's why I checked the cell tower data and found the call was made from the Wax Wonders Wax Museum. Big ripoff if you ask me, but that's where Annie called from. A wax museum? You mean those places where you can see wax lookalikes of celebrities? I've always found them creepy. You're right, Matthew. If our victim went to hide in that wax museum, we better go and have a look around. Turns out I have 4 of these hints, instant magnifiers. A ripped banner. Cell phone. Nice. So, Matthew, did you find any trace of Annie's presence in this museum? You found a phone? You're right, it could be hers. Let's unlock it quickly so we can access the data. And this banner shows our victim's face, too. But who is the man with her? Do you think you could find his name in the database, Matthew? And I don't know what you expect to find in this box, but I'll let you look through it. You've always been faster than me.
Some say it's necessary, others wait.
I'm gonna get some stars first, so sit tight. Alright, I got myself 4 of the 5 stars. Let's examine the cell phone right now.
Official safe parks keep 80% of the monies collected. The other 20% goes to a fund to support park units where fees are not charged. Since 1997,
GSC,
funded over $41 million in Hollywood national park projects.
As hopefully continues her voyage around the world.
Good work unlocking the phone you found in the Wax Museum, Matthew. Let's send it to Hannah.
They were by the Skyway Nation, the first people of that area, also in full force, Hawaiians and
24 hours.
now calling the East Coast home.
The East Coast of the United States is so rich in history and maritime history.
Top hat. What did you find in that box of spare parts? A top hat? Isn't it just a prop for the statues? Oh, of course, there's a circus logo on the top. It must belong to Orsino Ziegfeld, the circus master. But how could its hat have ended up here in the Wax Museum? Do you think Ziegfeld followed Annie here and lost his hat while he was spying on her? I agree, Matthew. We need to question Mr. Ziegfeld about this.
Actually, watch for the stories throughout the next few weeks right here on KITV.
About the hat found in the Wax Museum?
Heading to New York, but ahead of that,
Roll up, ladies and
of life.
Mr. Ziegfeld, Ranger Matthew found this hat in the Wax Museum. It looks amazingly like the one you have on your head. Did you go to the museum recently? Well, as a matter of fact, I did, yes. Thanks for bringing me my spare hat back, Ranger Matthew. Mr. Ziegfeld, we have proof that Annie ran away from the circus and hid in the Wax Museum shortly before she died. Did you follow her there? Of course I did. When my employee runs away from her duties, it is my right to bring her back. I see. Why did Annie want to run away exactly? She complained that I made her work too hard. Bah! The circus is only meant to be fun for the audience, Ranger Matthew. For the artists, it's blood, sweat, and tears. But I'm their master, and they owe me loyalty. I had to set an example and discipline her, lest all the artists threaten to leave me. Discipline her? What exactly did you do to the poor girl, Ziegfeld? Drag her back to the circus and kill her on stage to teach the rest of your employees a lesson? That's nonsense. I told you I needed Annie. She was my best acrobat. Besides, I never found her in the museum. I even bought her shaved ice to show her I forgave her, to cajole her back, but I never had the chance to give it to her. She disappeared. Matthew, who knew the circus was such a harsh world? Orsino Ziegfeld apparently thinks that if the artists aren't suffering, they don't work hard enough. Annie tried to escape, but she didn't get far. The question is, who stopped her? Let's keep investigating and find out. Alright, Matthew, let's see if you can identify the man who's with our victim on the circus banner. Oh, gosh. Mikey Bolero. So the man on the circus banner with Annie is another acrobat, a certain Mikey Bolero. He was Annie's stage partner. He certainly looks like he can dazzle the audience, this Mikey. I mean, we must question Mr. Bolero about our victim. Let's go, Matthew. About the victim's stage partner? About being the victim's stage partner? Annie's dead, but that can't be. My life is over. It's nice to finally talk to someone who's genuinely upset at Annie's demise, Mr. Bolero. What was your relationship to her? We performed together in a double act. Annie and Mikey, the two airborne angels of paradise. What am I going to do without her? I can't do a double act alone, Ranger Matthew. I know this is hard for you, Mr. Bolero, but when did you last see Annie alive? After last night's performance, I washed the chalk off my hands and had a cup of shaved ice to relax. I wanted to spend a quiet evening, but Annie went out to party. Oh, Ranger Matthew, if only she'd stayed with me, she might still be alive. And we'll let the phone run its course. I'll see you for that. Alright, folks, we're back. The phone just finished. Hello, Matthew. I checked the phone you found in the Wax Museum. It's definitely the phone Annie used to make the emergency call before she died. But aside from that, Annie barely used her phone. No pictures, hardly any contacts, no browsing history. That girl had no life even when she was alive. Well, it's hard to take selfies while twirling on a rope. Besides, all the witnesses keep saying circus life is tough. She must have worked all day and night. There was, however, one guy who messaged her about 50 times just days before her death. I managed to trace the number back to a certain Freddie Gomez. Surprise, surprise, he works at the Wax Museum. You're right, Matthew, it's time to turn the spotlight on this Mr. Gomez.
Alright, time to talk sports with Robert Kikama.
Has another shot to represent her country.
Yep, getting a second look from Team USA Volleyball.
And let's talk to Freddie Gomez. How may I help you, Ranger Matthew? Hello, Mr. Gomez. We're investigating the death of Annie Capri. How did you get to know her? I'm a big fan of the circus. I saw Annie perform. I was so enthralled I dropped my shaved ice. She was beautiful and talented, like an angel. Is that why you kept messaging her? It sounds a bit like harassment, to be honest. I was only trying to be friendly. Annie kept saying she was fine, but I could tell she was in need of protection. I finally convinced her to come hide in my wax museum, but she didn't stay long. She said my sculptures creeped her out. Mr. Gomez, Annie called the police before she died, from here. She said her life was in danger. And I try to protect her. Surely you cannot blame me for her own failure to stay here, where she was safe. I'm very sorry to hear she's dead. Another poor, vulnerable girl swallowed by the underbelly of paradise. Matthew, this Freddy guy gives me the creeps. Annie must have been desperate for a hiding place to ever give him the time of day. Anyway, everything seems to hinge on Annie's last moments before she ran away. You're right, we should have another look at the rooftop since she came from there.
Inspiration. We'll pay $500 for your old couch with purchasing a leather sofa, or $300 with a new fabric sofa. We'll even take away your old couch for free. Even our financing is interest-free. No ugly couch, no worries. We have sofa bargains store-wide. The ugly ducky event.
Okay.
Every week at Inspiration Cookie Oleni and Inspiration Pro Highland Center above Sam's Club.
Announcing Pizza Hut's new all-wood smoked bacon and melty cheese in the crust. Pizza Hut's bacon.
All right.
Pizza is here now with all-wood smoked bacon and loaded with cheese. Just $17.99 only in Pizza Hut.
Hopefully, I'll be able to finish this case by the time the 19th comes around. The moon.
Conditions are constantly changing, so no 2 days or days are ever the same. I've competed in some of the most incredible places in the world, but...
Do you think something could be hidden in that big storage box, Matthew? You'll have to unlock it to find out. And you picked up a decoration, too? A wooden moon, you're right. Annie's name is written on it. Can you reveal the rest of the text? I only have about 6 minutes left of recording time on here, so I better get this off my chest right now. Okay. Investigating the moon.
Yeah, I think, that's what every athlete dreams of. You put in all these hours that nobody sees, and you do all this work that nobody knows about, and for it to actually start paying off.
Matthew, you've revealed the writing on the wooden moon you found on the rooftop. It reads, Annie, you'll hang from a towel cross for this. I have no idea what a towel cross is, but someone threatened to hang Annie, and that's exactly how she died. You're right, Matthew, there must be more to this than meets the eye. Looks like a job for Russell. Let's send the wooden moon to him.
To train with the U.S. women's volleyball team with hopes of making the Pan American Cup squad later on. Now, 6'4" Kaiser graduate, put down 468 kilos last season, hitting .271. Big West Player of the Year 3 times. Taylor's been all-conference first team.
24 hours also.
With Team USA.
Storage box.
Nerves this time.
So I didn't really play as well as I would like to. But then I kind of settled down and I noticed that everyone else around me was just as nervous as I was, and that was kind of
889
so I just kind of
NRB. Got it.
just let my play do the talking and stop being so nervous, and it felt good.
Great, you unlocked the storage box you found on the rooftop. Now you just have to rummage through the contents.
A record in UH. Taylor leaves June 16th. One of 19 invites. 12 will make the final cut. If Nikki makes the
Okay.
squad, Pan American Cup is in the Dominican Republic, June 30th to July 11th. Nikki Taylor's coaching winningest women's coach all time with a record of 11.
Oh, Matthew, that piggy bank you found in the storage box is cute. Look, it has a clown face. You're right, it's broken. And there's a message written on its side. Coco, I'll pay you back, Annie. It looks like Annie took money from Coco the Clown. You're right, Matthew, we have to ask Coco about this.
And you're getting honored in California?
Yeah, it's a really good group of expats, I guess they call them in Northern
Okay.
California. They're actually called
I think I might be almost out of time, so I'm going to play it safe and quit here for just a few minutes. Okay, I was right. I was only down to 6 seconds at the time, but I transferred all the videos. Let's talk to Coco the Clown. Mr. Coco, you told us last time that you and Annie didn't get along. She looked down on clowns and made fun of you, but you didn't tell us everything, did you? Oh, there's always more, Ranger Matthew. Like when Annie threw a bucket full of ice over me, pretending it was part of her show, just to make fun of my love of shaved ice. She thought it was funny, but it ruined my makeup. It takes hours to apply this chalk, Ranger Matthew. How about when Annie stole money from you, Coco? Tell us how that happened. I've been saving that money for years, Ranger Matthew. I wanted to go to drama school. Of course, Annie mocked that too. She said I'd never be an actor. And one day the money disappeared, and so did Annie. All she left was that message on the piggy bank. She ran away with my savings. Well, if her adventure ended in tragedy because of you, Ranger Matthew will have the last laugh, Coco. I'll let the message on the Moonrunner's course. I'll see you for when that is done. Alright folks, we're back. I'm going to speed up the message on the moon. Hello Matthew, I don't mean to spook you, but this wooden moon is a very unsettling clue. What do you mean? Did you figure out who wrote that message to Annie? Several elements show that it was the killer. First, there's the threat of hanging, which is how Annie died. But the choice of the moon and the Greek letter tau is also significant. They're both ancient symbols of death, destruction, and madness. Then it struck me. The killer was using tarot imagery. The tau cross refers to a card called the Hanged Man, and the moon is another card. So Annie's killer used these ancient tarot card symbols to threaten her? Exactly. The cards have very complex meanings. It could be betrayal or revenge. All I can say is that the killer knows this tradition very well. But Matthew knows the tradition of arresting killers even better. I'll write down this new evidence. The killer reads tarot cards. Matthew, this case is such a roller coaster. We've learned that Annie was afraid for her life, so she decided to leave the circus, which made the ringmaster very angry. Apparently, Ziegfeld rules the circus with an iron fist, though he claims he didn't do Annie any harm. Annie stole money from Coco the Clown to finance her escape. Coco wasn't amused. She then sought refuge at the Wax Museum with the help of Freddy Gomez. He sure makes my skin crawl, but is he a killer? Ranger Matthew, we have to talk to you. It's a matter of life and death. And we'll start Chapter 3 in just a moment. Alright folks, it's Matthew, we're back. We're going to start Death at the Circus, Case 52 in Pacific Bay in Elite Mode. Ranger Matthew, we have to talk to you. It's a matter of life and death. It's about Annie's killer. My sister didn't want to come, but I insisted and... What? You didn't want to come? Oh, for Pete's sake, stop fighting! If you have any information about Annie's killer, you must tell Ranger Matthew immediately. The cards do not reveal the identity of the killer, but we know they'll kill again if you don't catch them in time. We see death and violence in the cards. Even you might be in danger, Ranger Matthew. The cards have also shown us a strange place, a museum full of wax figures. That's where Annie's killer is going. That's where you'll find the answers. Enough of this nonsense. The police don't rely on fortune-telling to catch killers. Ranger Matthew will interrogate you again, ladies. You can leave your cards in the evidence locker. But you're right, Matthew. We'll go back to the Wax Museum just to make sure everything's in order. Let's go. I'm going to investigate the Wax Museum again first. That's it. Matthew, you found Annie's suitcase. There's her name on it. Open it. Let's see what's in there. And you think that broken thing is a clue? Alright, piece it back together. But hurry. We have to stop the killer before they kill again. Gonna get some stars. First, we'll sit tight.
Allow it.
Alright, I have 20 stars. Let's examine the broken pieces first.
You were angry. I was tired. Disrespect. You should go out with her girlfriends and act like some street whore. I know what you
Set things off that night.
think it does she did
Okay.
something before we shot her.
Mouthy, those pieces you just restored were fragments of a face. I don't know why, but it's sending shivers down my spine. You're right, we should send this face to the lab at once.
I had the knife in my hand. That was it. And then I heard her.
Okay, 18 hours.
They almost took her head off. And all that blood, man.
And Annie's suitcase now.
I have no idea. We could try that, Jerry. Does anyone know what happened to you? Free man. You don't have to let anyone know.
Got it. Great, you've unlocked the victim's suitcase you found in the wax museum. Now you only have to search through Annie's belongings. I'm sure you'll be deft like an acrobat, Matthew. Just don't end up dead like one.
Charge of murder in the second degree for the killing of Serena Darby. How do you find?
We find the defendant, James Paul Lang, guilty.
Matthew, you found a map in Annie's suitcase, and there's a message on it. Mikey, run away with me. Love, Annie. Looks like Annie asked her partner, Mikey Bolero, to leave the circus with her. But why didn't Mikey mention this before? You're right, Matthew. We'd better talk to him again.
Damn right I am.
So what do you think? Is the jury convict Lang for the right murder?
We'll probably never know. So one of them writes a book about it.
Mr. Bolero, Ranger Matthew found the message Annie left you on this map. Why didn't you tell us she wanted you to run away with her? Oh, Ranger Matthew, Ivywood was just a dream for us. Life is hard in the circus, and Annie was often unhappy. We all need something to look forward to. I promised Annie our dreams would come true one day. I read it in my tarot cards.
In the criminal justice.
And it was true. We just perfected our double act. Even if our life was tied to the circus, it wasn't always bad. But then, why did Annie run away, alone? I ask myself that question every day, Ranger Matthew. If only she could have stayed strong. But now she's dead, and our dreams are shattered forever. Mr. Bolero, I feel very sorry for you, but if Ranger Matthew finds out it was you who shattered Annie's dreams, it'll take more than tears to save you.
There it is.
What?
You passed? I passed. Oh my God.
Congratulations. Somebody won the lottery? Sort of. Carissa,
And let's ask the Hanoi sisters.
Carissa, congratulations.
Alright, ladies, spare us the fortune-telling nonsense and stick to the facts. We know you and Annie didn't get along, so why are you suddenly so keen to help the investigation?
Last week he just got
Ranger Matthew, the circus is a small, closed world. If there is a killer among us, we want to help you find them before they kill someone else.
Come on, man, don't be like that.
Alright, well, did you notice anything unusual in the circus lately? Well, one night someone drank my shaved ice, but I think it was my sister. Liar! And I know you stole the chalk I used to mix our makeup. Don't deny it. What? That's ridiculous. I never... Oh, this is not helping. What about Annie? Did you know she wanted to leave the circus? Nobody leaves the circus, Ranger Matthew. We told you, it's a small world. We all live and die there.
Leaving?
It's our fate. It's written in the cards.
That was, but they want me in early again. Got a lot of serious
Alright, I'll get the remaining stars. And for now, this is Matthew. See you then. Alright folks, we're back. Let's get the results of the plaster mold. Matthew, this plaster face you sent me is a mold for making wax statues. The first step of making a wax statue is to make a plaster mold, like this, by putting a layer of hot gypsum directly on the person's face, and then... Jan, we don't have time for an art lesson now. We're worried about what the killer might do next if we don't stop them in time. Alright, I found some DNA inside the mold, and it matched the DNA of Annie Capri. So the mold is of our victim's face. Somebody wanted to make a statue of her. Ugh, Matthew, you're right. It could only be that creepy museum guy, Freddie Gomez. Let's go talk to him. Turns out, actually, I forgot about the food pack in case 10, but it turned into sticker packs, unfortunately. So I unfortunately missed out on 4 extra burgers there. Mr. Gomez, Ranger Matthews found out about your little art project involving Annie Capri. Ah, yes. I wanted to immortalize her in wax. I'm an artist, and she was a beautiful girl. I offered her a place to stay, so letting me turn her into wax was the least she could do in return. Except the mold was broken. What happened? Annie had trust issues, Ranger Matthew. When I showed her my sketches of her, she freaked out for no reason. She even broke my chalk crayons. I tried to reassure her by reading her fortune with my tarot cards, but she went completely hysterical. I told her the hanged man didn't mean anything bad, but she wouldn't believe me. I don't understand these young girls, Ranger Matthew. They always run away from me. Annie was safe here. She would still be alive if she'd stayed with me. Now he's in the running. Matthew, we still don't know who killed Annie, and time is running out. You discovered that Annie asked her partner, Mikey Bolero, to run away with her. We don't know what went wrong with their plan. But we know that Annie sought refuge at Freddy's Wax Museum. She got frightened when Freddy tried to immortalize her in wax, and I can't blame her. And the Hanoi sisters just seem to want attention with their fortune-telling and bickering, but it's hard to tell what they're playing at. Matthew, you think we should go back to the circus for the final act? Well, I won't let you go alone. I'll catch you if you fall. You can count on me.
Dress conservatively to see the Queen in a meeting called This. Also a word for a theater crowd. Anna.
What is audience?
That's the word.
Moderates for what?
I'm Rachel Natter of MS, asking these 3 politicians how they fix the party's fortunes in the Senate.
Al.
Laura, Hillary Clinton, Bernie Sanders, and Martin O'Malley.
You got all 3. Well done.
Okay. Conservative for 1600.
Helmholtz gave us the law of conservation of this. Also what you do when you take it easy and start a long run. Al?
What is energy?
That's it. Conservation of energy. Go again.
Alright.
Conservative for 2000.
Let's see. Ooh, I think I see some.
New York's Juilliard is a famous one. Sunny.
What is conservative?
Torn fabric.
Centennial for
In 1829,
Microphone.
after
Ball.
this country's attempt to reclaim Mexico.
Ballerina and lantern.
Spain.
That's it.
What movie? 400.
After playing the Sundance Kid, this actor drowned in 1972 satirical The Candidate. Al,
Who's Robert Redford?
he's the one.
Okay.
Matthew, you found a tarot card. This can't be a coincidence. This must have been left behind by Annie's tarot-loving killer.
Classic.
There's some bright red substance on the card. Quick, Matthew, let's collect a sample. We're so close to catching this killer. And you found a piece of fabric, too. You're right. It looks like part of Annie's outfit. The fabric's stained with something. Can you collect a sample of that, too? Let's show the killer who runs the show in this circus, Matthew.
Okay, here's one. This Ryan Gosling political thriller shares its name with the last day of Julius Caesar's life.
What?
Let's do it right now.
The Ides of March.
You got it.
Movies for 1600.
You can't fight in here. This is Nolan, says President Perkin Muffley.
There we go. 16.
Al,
What is Doctor Strange?
yes.
Great. You collected a a sample of the red substance from that tarot card you found in the circus. Let's send the sample to Jan. I'm no fortune teller, but I can predict our killer's luck is finally running out.
Yes. Judy Woodruff was the moderator when this man told Dan
30 hours.
You're no Jack Tanner. Hannah? Right. The answer there is...
Alright, let's get this. There we are. 16 energy also. Good job, Matthew. You've collected a perfect sample of that white substance on the torn piece of Annie's costume. Let's send the sample to the lab and let the curtains fall on this investigation. 18 hours. I'll let this run its course, so for now, this is Matthew. See you then. Alright folks, we're back. Let's get the results of the red substance now and put a killer behind bars. Matthew, this red substance you collected from the tarot card was an interesting compound of pigments, emollients, and oil. Any chance you could give us a short version, Jan? A sadistic killer's on the loose, and every minute counts. Sorry guys, it happened again. Alright, this red substance is makeup. More precisely, a very resistant face paint used by performance artists. Now you're talking. So the killer wears red face paint. Well, at least they can hide their embarrassment a little when Matthew arrests them. White substance? Matthew, this white substance you collected from Annie's torn costume is beeswax. Before you tell me to go faster, Amy, let me clarify. This wax was mixed with honey and natural oils. This is what gentlemen use to give one's mustache a healthy shine. Mustache wax? You're right, Matthew. It's not something Annie would use, which means it could only have come from the killer. And now we know the killer has a mustache. It's time for the final showdown, Matthew. Matthew, you collected enough evidence to arrest the killer. The show is over. Let's go get them. It's not the Ringmaster. It's not Coco the Clown. It isn't the Hanoi Sisters. It's not Freddy Gomez. It is Mikey Bolero. Mikey Bolero, Ranger Matthews arresting you for the murder of Annie Capri. What? I didn't kill Annie, Ranger Matthew. She was all I had on this earth, and in the air. Stop lying, Mikey. You systematically threatened to kill Annie, leaving clues everywhere, like that poster on which you wrote, "Die." Nonsense. It wasn't me. I loved Annie. Then why did Ranger Matthew find your face paint on this tarot card? Yet another way you try to intimidate Annie. Death in tarot means good luck, Ranger Matthew. I told you Annie and I planned our future together. Stop lying. You left your mustache wax on her torn costume, probably when you were hanging her from these ropes. How could you do this to your partner? I see there's no point in pretending any longer, Ranger Matthew. Yes, I did kill Annie, but only because she wanted to leave. The circus is my life. It's all I've ever known. I will never leave it, and because of our double act, I couldn't let Annie leave either. I wasn't unreasonable. I tried to make her understand she had nowhere to run, that I would always find her and drag her back here, but she wouldn't listen. You thought you could force her to stay against her will? But what happened to loving her? She was my partner. She owed me loyalty. I found her in the wax museum, took her back to the circus, and strangled her with her own ropes. I loved Annie, Ranger Matthew, and I gave her the most glorious death an acrobat can dream of. Everyone will remember her forever, suspended above the stage. And everyone will remember you as the crazy guy who killed her. Mikey Bolero, you're under arrest. Mikey Bolero, you stand trial for the murder of Annie Capri. She was your acrobatic partner in the circus, right? Yes, Your Honor, and I loved her. And I loved her more than she deserved. So I allowed her to die on the stage. Beautiful and angelic forever. So it was a work accident? Alright, the court hereby orders a health and safety inspection of Paradise Circus. Apparently the working conditions leave a lot to be desired. No, I killed her on purpose, Your Honor. Killing is also a form of performance art. If Ranger Matthew hadn't stopped me, I could have shown you all. Lucky for us, Ranger Matthew never sleeps. Mr. Bolero, this court sentences you to 30 years in jail. Please inform the prison wardens if you have escape artist skills, though. All rise. Matthew, I'll never think of the circus the same way again. Who knew the happy facade hid such darkness and misery? You're right, Paradise City only seems to be a paradise for con men, thieves, and grifters. For ordinary people, it's the same daily grind as everywhere else. But at least you're here to make it a little bit easier, one case at a time. Onwards and upwards, Matthew. And I get another sticker pack. I got several others because I forgot about case 10 in elite mode. Taking a look at the other ones. Hanoi Sisters almost made the cut, as did Freddy Gomez. But I'll see you guys for the Big Heist Part 2. Alright folks, we're back. Let's go to the Big Heist Part 2. Ranger Matthew, the Menagio is the biggest casino here, and I'm convinced Louis Tirico is planning to pull off the heist of the century and rob it. Well, we need to go on more than just a feeling, Eugenia, but that's why I've given Ranger Matthew the order to investigate and gather all the information needed. And don't worry, unlike most people in Paradise City, you can count on Ranger Matthew. They never lose. Ah, Ranger Matthew, I was looking for you. That was quite a trial, eh? I can't stop thinking about how badly people are treated in that circus. We need to do something about it. Will you help me? You're lucky Matthew can never say no, sir. I'm sure they'll be happy to take you to the circus to have a look around. Ranger Matthew, there you are. Miss Hestentrope, what do you want this time? To stop the master thieves from robbing my casino. As we said, we'll keep an eye out for suspicious activity, but we can't do much else. Well, luckily I sent some of my men to keep an eye on Louis Tirico, and I'm telling you he's putting together a team to rob my casino. Apparently Louis was seen at some rooftop party talking to a clown. Does that sound suspicious or what? Some days, anything seems possible, but Ranger Matthew is right. We'll go talk to that clown. Which reminds me, Matthew, you also need to go to the circus with Judge Dante. I will say at first when I saw that Coco the Clown and I saw the photo of Coco the Clown on my timeline, I happened to think that he was the one behind it. Faded flyer. You're going to notice I'm using the Dalmatian now because I have no use for the mountain goat after this. I'm also looking to hopefully get up to third, but we'll see what happens. Second is kind of a stretch. Matthew, I didn't expect the circus to look so much like the courthouse. A big mess everywhere, official documents lying about, the writing all faded on them. I feel at home. The paper says all genuine freaks. You think you can retrieve the rest of the writing? You do it every day? Ah, yes, you work for the police. Alright, get on with it then. Well, watch and be amazed. Watch and be amazed, Judge. The Hanoi Sisters. Oh, so that paper was an old circus flyer. Tell me, what's the featured act? Conjoined twins? Wow, imagine that. Having someone to talk to every minute of your life. Though I guess I already talk to myself more than any person should. But this headline, all genuine freaks. How dreadful. Those girls aren't freaks. They look so young here. Have they been in the circus their whole lives? Matthew, we should try to learn more about those girls. I agree. You know someone who could compile some information for us? Splendid. Let's send that flyer to your lab. Now let's ask Coco the Clown. Coco, witnesses report seeing you speaking with Louis DeRico at the rooftop party. What did he want with you? Why do you care who I talk to? Can't a clown have some privacy? Not when it comes to talking to master criminals who could be planning a huge casino heist. Louis is preparing a heist? Look, Louis is a cousin of mine. I wish he wasn't, but he is. Joke's on me, I guess. So what did Louis want with you then? I don't know. He came by the rooftop party trying to talk to me, but I don't want anything to do with the thief, so I threw a pie in his face. I agree, Ranger Matthew. Let's go search the rooftop. We need to see if Louis left anything behind. Trident, flag garland, butterfly scratches. Trash can. Did you find anything, Matthew? A trash can? Yes, I'm sure we can find some dirt in there. Plan heist at the Wax Museum. Okay, Matthew, what did you find in the trash can? Apart from trash, of course. A matchbox, and you're right, there's a message on it. Plan heist at Wax Museum. What? Do you seriously think these casino robbers could be so dumb as to write such a message on a matchbox? Well, that's true. It's not signed, and nobody expects the cops to search through the trash, but still. You're right, Matthew. I should stop thinking about the logic behind it and act on this new intel. If they plan the heist at the Wax Museum, we need to go there now. Let's hurry. See here. A locked tape recorder. So, Matthew, did you find anything related to the heist? A tape recorder? I was expecting something a bit more exciting. You're right, Matthew. I shouldn't jump to conclusions too quickly. This tape recorder might hold some juicy intel. We need to unlock it. Oops, GX8. Excellent work, Matthew. You unlocked that tape recorder you found in the Wax Museum in no time. Let's hope it holds information on this heist we keep hearing about. Come on, let's send the recorder to Hannah. Okay, that's 12 hours. And I'll see what happens here. So for now, this is Matthew. See you then. Alright folks, we're back. Let's get the results of Circus Fire. Matthew, I had a look at Judge Dante. What a surprise. Are you lost? Of course not. Matthew, let me tag along. I want to investigate how the circus members are being treated. It doesn't look good, judging from that flyer Matthew brought you. Right on the money, sir. I looked into the Hanoi sisters' background, and it isn't a happy story. Matthew, the flyer you found is from the show in which the Hanoi sisters made their first appearance, just after they joined the circus. But they didn't quite join by choice. They were sold and bought by the circus. Bought? You mean someone bought those girls like they were objects or animals? Yes. The previous circus master found them in Vietnam and paid good money to their parents, promising a better life for their children in Pacific Bay. Parading them around as circus freaks doesn't sound better to me. I agree, Matthew. We should go talk to these women, try to help them out.
Paul didn't have a computer.
No evidence anyone helped.
No set schedule, no day timer.
The tapes have dates on them. Yeah, the starting dates.
Try to help them out.
And students, as current students.
You poor girls. You live such miserable lives, being forced to work for the circus. Here, come quick with me. I'll help you escape. Not sure you'll be able to hide very well, but we'll find a way to save you. Excuse me, sir. You don't need to take us anywhere. We're just fine here at the circus.
It's still a lot more than 2 counts.
There's no grandfather clause.
Okay.
So everything that holds.
Yeah, we love the circus, actually. It's the one place where people look at us in awe and excitement rather than in disgust. Plus, we get paid just to be ourselves. Not very much, though. The ringmaster barely pays us, and we are quite overworked. But when we complain, he just locks us up in the cage. What? That's terrible. Why don't you report him? We have no proof, and we're too afraid to go against him. He might fire us, leaving us with no work. Though I wouldn't put it past him to try to get revenge. Well, you don't need to be afraid anymore. We've got Ranger Matthew on the case. I bet they can find some proof of the ringmaster's bad treatment. Shall we have another look around the circus, Matthew? This detective work is so much fun. But let's take a break first. I want to treat these lovely ladies to lunch. And let's investigate the circus stage. Well, just for the heck of it, let's try it. Like what I usually do after, because I already have the mountain goat out. Torn photo. Oh boy. And there we go.
Bodies that don't talk back to you. Look at you. You don't get attached. Exactly.
Matthew, did you find anything that would help us prosecute the ringmaster? Hopefully not just some rings. You think these torn pieces of paper would help? But my dear, you won't scare anyone with that. Oh, you intend to piece it back together for the real clue. Well, let's hope it hits something fantastically clue-worthy.
Take care of yourself. I got 2 more tapes to watch.
Was the wig of his eye twisted his head?
So, you know I had nothing to dread.
He spoke of the wig straight to his web.
It filled all the stocking.
All the stocking did he fill tonight?
Alright, double.
Christmas comes once a year and is now...
Matthew, that picture you restored is outrageous. I don't know what keeps me from hitting that man right on top of his noggin with my gavel. No, I will not calm down, Matthew. This man is locking the poor Hanoi sisters in a cage as if they were animals. And I don't like it when people put animals in cages either. When I was a kid, I used to have a pet gerbil. Well, I never put him in a cage. Of course, I lost him after 2 days, but at least he was free. Sorry, I'm digressing again. You're absolutely right. This is the proof you need to force Mr. Ringmaster to quit his evil ways. Let's go confront him, Matthew.
You know, I hate that everything's always okay, you know?
The proof of his abuse?
Cases that give emergency hazard can help you get on your feet.
Your Honor, what a pleasure to see you in our humble circus. Take a seat and be prepared to be amazed. We have freaks the likes of which you've never seen before. This is precisely why Ranger Matthew and I have come to see you, Mr. Ringmaster. We do not like the way you treat those freaks you speak of. Particularly the Hanoi sisters, splendid women who do not deserve to be locked up in a cage for speaking up about your inhumanity. Well, I need to be strict to be able to keep all my circus members in order. It's hard work, you know, managing a team, not to mention a team of outcasts. Locking people up and not paying them would be considered very poor management skills, Mr. Ringmaster. And unless you yourself want to be locked up, you better change your tactics. Your Honor, please, I've got a circus to run. I've got children of all ages to please and entertain. You can't lock me up. Well, then you better start paying all of your employees what they deserve, and that means 2 paychecks for the twins. And hand over the lock to that cage. Nobody's going in there anymore. 2 paychecks? But, okay, fine. If that will make them happy. Those 2 are positively too demanding. They're demanding respect. We'll let you off with a fine this time, but if we hear you're still not treating your circus members right, we'll make sure it's your final act ever before life in prison.
Whatever person you choose should be your choice. And my guess is when you're ready to see someone that way, you will. It'll mean something to you and it'll come from you.
I listened to that tape recorder you found at the Wax Museum, Matthew. The recording caught a man's voice, but the reverberations around the room made it impossible to identify him. Drats! Did you at least hear anything about a possible heist? Did I ever? The man talked about nothing else but an elaborate casino heist, the biggest one of the century. And to pull it off, they need disguises and perfect timing. They said they couldn't rush this one. The man then asked somebody a question about creating wax body parts, and that's when the recording cut out. Wax body parts? You're right, Matthew. He must have been talking to Freddy. I hope I never have to see him again, but we need to go question him. About the heist?
What's going on? Where?
We got you, Freddy. Ranger Matthew has got proof that you're involved in a big heist that's about to happen here in Paradise City. What? I'm just a humble artist, Ranger Matthew. All I do is make wax statues. Just about. Okay. Admire pretty girls and lead a quiet life. Stop lying, Freddy. We know your wax museum is somehow part of the plan. The heist leaders mentioned it in their secret correspondence. Well, maybe they're planning to rob my museum. I promise to let you know if any of my statues go missing, Ranger Matthew. Maybe one day I'll have the honor of immortalizing you in wax, Ranger Matthew. Until then, take this as a token of good faith. I agree, Matthew. Freddy was clearly playing dumb with us. At least they're one step closer to finding proof that the heist of the century is being planned, which means they're one step closer to catching those thieves. Eugenia, Ranger Matthew has made progress. We don't know if it's Louis Dorico yet, but someone is definitely putting a team together for a huge casino heist. That's what I've been telling you. You need to make a move and arrest these thieves before it's too late. No, first you need to find out where they are planning the heist, and we need to catch them in the act. It's the only way to put them away for good. Ranger Matthew is telling me to put together a sting operation. We need to watch the thieves' every move. And once we know which casino they're going to rob, we'll be waiting for them. Okay. Twelve packs to open. Two rare ones. Good. Another two rare ones. Two more to go. And that will do. I'll see you guys then.